Vanakkam and welcome to the Indulge podcast. I'm your host Ranojoy Mukherjee and today we have a very unique person who's sitting right here with me, and this person lives life in the fast lane. I am referring to none other than Chennai's own motorbike racer, Kavin Quintal. Kavin, welcome to this show, to our podcast, and it's a pleasure having you here. I mean, I've always believed that young talent is the way to go forward. And you have a remarkable number of achievements to your name. So how many trophies have you roughly won so far?
I think I lost count a little while ago.
That's a great thing. He's actually lost count of the number of trophies he has and the number of races. And that should tell you about how good he is. But the next question that I'm going to ask you is, you said you recently came back from Spain.
Yeah.
What were you doing in Spain?
So I've actually, this year I'm riding in the Junior World Championship in the Stock 600, and I'm the first and only Indian to reach that level and the only one riding there. So I just finished a race in Portugal and then one recently in Barcelona, and then just got back after like 2 months away.
And where to from here? What is the next race you're going to?
After this, I fly in about a week again to Japan, and then from there directly again to Spain for another race. So it's just to country after country after country for a race this year.
So what is the series you're participating in?
So I'm actually taking part in 2 series, one the Asian series and one in Europe. In Europe, it's the Junior World Championship, Stock 600. And in Asia, it's the Asia Road Racing Championship in the 250cc category.
Okay, so Asia is the 250 and in Europe you're doing the
600. Yeah.
But this must be a very expensive sport. How do you manage to fund it? I mean, not everybody can do it, but how do you manage to do it? Do you get sponsorships? How does it happen?
Yeah, so for the Asian side, I'm sponsored by Honda Racing India. And yeah, so they've helped me a lot on that side. But European side, my main sponsor is my dad. But yes, it's a very expensive sport and everyone needs sponsors to get to the top. There's no other way because it is expensive. So.
It is expensive. So typically you would ride in Europe a 600cc bike, am I right?
Yes.
Is it one make that you stick to or there are multiple manufacturers?
There are different manufacturers in the category I'm riding, but preferably everyone's on the same bike, which is the best bike. So we prefer to stick on that.
And in Japan, since it's the 250cc category, the Asian series, you would be riding a Honda 250?
Yes, that I go with Honda India and I ride with them. So yeah, that I get the Honda 250.
But let's rewind a little bit. How did this interest come into being? I mean, when did you start racing? When did you start riding a two-wheeler?
The interest, I'm not sure where it started because from the time I was small, I was just surrounded by bikes because my uncle was riding, my dad had a bike, and it was just fun. I just loved it, the idea of bikes and being on them. And one day I told my parents that I wanted to start racing. And then they told me that my grandfather and both of my uncles had also raced. So in a way it was in the family. So that was how it started. And then now I've been racing for the past, I think 5 years. I think this is my 6th year riding. So it's not long compared to the European riders because they started around the age of 4 and I'm starting only at 13. So there's a lot to catch up.
So where did you competitively race for the first time?
The first time I raced was in Chennai in Madras Motor Racetrack.
Okay, and you said you started racing only 5-6 years back. So did you have to do a lot of training for that or how did it come?
Yes, to get to the level I'm at now, there's been so much of training. I think I've trained in India, Qatar, Japan, Spain, everywhere, anywhere and everywhere you can think of, because again, it's all lost time because I need to catch up because the Europeans have started so much earlier. So yeah, I'm just trying to catch up at this point.
So it must be a lot, besides riding training, there must be a lot of physical training that is involved in sport like this. So what kind of a fitness regime do you follow?
Yeah, it's extremely strict, the physical side of things, like the exercises, easily maybe 2 to 3 hours a day minimum of training, and we have strength and cardio. Cardio is extremely important for us because the races could be 30 to 45 minutes long. So we do a lot of cycling, a lot of running, things like that. And the strength workout is pretty general, just what anybody does for the strength.
And do you follow a special diet for this?
Yes, of course. I wouldn't say special diet, just the right portions of everything. Because you can't cut out everything. You need small amounts of everything, but yeah, proportionately eating.
So in India specifically, let us refer to the Honda Racing program. where do you train as such?
In India, I train sometimes in Bangalore because there is a Big Rock dirt park over there. So I do a few trainings over there off-road. And also there's a good go-kart track called Arwani Grid in Bangalore. So I train there as well. But with Honda India, sometimes they book the track and we have maybe tests to test our race bike for the Asian Championship. So they bring the bike down, we go run some laps, make some mapping changes, and yeah.
Okay, so is there a process where you are involved with your engineers in telling them how to set up the bike, mapping the ECU, the suspension setup?
Every race, the complete bike is what we want. So we can tell them anything to engine braking, the engine performance, how much torque we need. There's so much to it. But it's anything we want, we can get the bike done.
Okay, and the 600 series that you're racing in Europe, I'll just come back to that for the timing. How many races have been held so far this year?
So far there have been 3 races, but I've attended only 2 because I had the first race I had missed as I was racing in China with Honda.
Okay, and how many more races?
I have another 3 races remaining, I think.
Okay, and how would you rate your chances?
Pretty good because my first ever race in the category, I had started 30th because I had a few difficulties in qualifying, but I managed to come up 21 positions and finish 9th.
Wow.
And no Indian has ever finished.
So you're in the top 10 right now. That is amazing. And how about the Honda racing program?
Even the Honda racing program, it's been going pretty consistently well this year because I think race 1 was 11th and we've been above at that almost top 10 this entire time.
Okay, so how many races did you say? I'm sorry, you have more to go in this Honda racing?
The Honda India in the Asian Championship, I have 6 races. And in Europe, I have, I think, 7 races.
7 races. So I'll come to a question which is a little, this thing, with all this training and racing and stuff like that, how do you handle your studies?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I do something which is open schooling. Right. So I just need to go write my exams when I need to. And also my parents are really supportive with my studies and because they can see that this is going well and I'm able to perform. So they're letting me ease off studies for a little while. But of course, I still have to come back and finish school and college and everything.
Would you say that it's a dangerous sport?
Extremely, for sure. For sure, it's dangerous.
Okay, so you have to take precautions, right?
Yes. Always, because one, it is an expensive sport, but at the same time, safety over the expense. However expensive it is, safety should be number 1, which is, I feel like sometimes people don't look at much in India because it's expensive, so it's a little difficult without sponsors. But it should be taken more carefully, safety-wise.
Okay, now what are you looking forward to? Now, you're obviously in the 600 category and in the Asian Championships you're at 250. So are you looking to move up in the power game?
Yes, for sure. As of now, because I'm still learning the 600, it's my first year on it. But I'm hoping another year or 2, maybe step up to the thousands will be fun.
Thousands, but that's a whole lot more power.
It's, yeah, but I wouldn't say it's too much of a difference.
Okay, how much power would the average 600 generate?
I think, I'm not sure how much our race bikes are fully tuned, but we do top speeds of about 260 in
260,
the track, yeah.
The straight.
Yeah.
On the straights.
That's only maybe 1 kilometer straight.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's quite fast.
So it's quite quick.
Yeah.
Huh? The thousands would probably take you to 300 or so.
Yeah, 330, somewhere around there.
Yeah. And, one of the most interesting things that I've ever seen, and I could never do it on my own, but maybe you would look at it, it's the Isle of Man, the
Yes.
TT thing.
Yes.
So do you ever think about doing it at some point?
I've never thought about riding it, no, because that is a whole other ball game. As dangerous as our sport is, the Isle of Man is on another level. That is not right now, for sure.
Not right now. But you are looking to move up to, say, a MotoGP in the future.
For sure, because the championship I'm riding now it leads up to MotoGP. So the Junior World Championship is also called the Road to MotoGP. And from the stock you go to the Moto2, which is from the production bike to the prototypes. And then you can go to the Moto2 World Championship from there.
Okay, and have people started showing interest in you in general?
Yes, I would say. In Spain, yes, there are a lot of people that have spoken to me and met me at the circuit And a lot of people who are surprised to see an Indian over there.
To see an Indian kid in the top 10.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good because we have a lot of talent here, and there are fast riders. But it's just the first person needs to get out there and do it. After that, it's easy.
So do you think there are more people who are following in your footsteps?
Yes, for sure. We have some really talented riders. A lot of them are starting to go international now, which is good because they need the exposure at a younger age. So yeah, I think we have a good chance in the future to get to MotoGP.
Okay, and do you get involved in setting up a bike in terms of R&D and doing a lot of other stuff on it?
I try to, but at the same time, my team also in Europe, they try to keep me away from that. They're like, we need you to ride and what you need for the bike. Everything else we will do, like your clutch, oil change, everything, that's all on them. But they're like, as much as you want to learn and be there, you still need to focus on what you're doing. Which I can, but it's just what they're saying.
So which Indian tracks have you ridden on over here?
I've ridden on 3 as of now. So Kari Motor Speedway, Madras Motor Racetrack in Chennai, and Budh.
So you've done all the 3. Which, as per you, is the best track to ride on?
My favorite is Budh, of course. Yeah, it's so big and so fast.
Yeah, but it's the surface.
I like it, but I've ridden it. I rode it quite a while ago. I haven't ridden it recently after MotoGP had come because I know they relaid the track in certain areas and stuff. But when I rode it, it was good, and I'm guessing now it's even better. So I can't wait for the next time I get the chance to ride there.
What word of advice would you have to people who want to get into this?
I think the first thing is it's not easy. People think, oh, I can get on a bike and go fast. It's not as easy as it seems. There's so many small, minor things that there is to it. And when you get beaten, it's not fun. So you got to be tough about it as well.
So you think it takes a lot of dedication and
A lot.
staying spirit because you can't be disheartened.
You can't at all. Because as of now, in Europe, once you go there, they have the upper advantage. Over you, they're more experienced, they've done more laps, they know the tracks better. So you need to be ready to lose and learn. And I think as long as you know what you're doing and what you're gone there for, you should be fine.
Do you think people outside India have a psychological advantage on you when it comes to racing?
Yes, for sure. Again, because they've been riding for so long, so they know the mind games, they know the tricks.
And their own tracks.
And their own tracks, yeah. That's the biggest difference because that's why I struggled with my last race in Barcelona. Because when we got there, it was raining and then it stopped raining, and that surface is not good at all for us. So I didn't get much time to learn the track and all sorts of confusion. So anything could happen. So basically just be ready for anything, I tell the new guys.
Okay. So what is the next big achievement you're looking forward to?
As of now, it would probably be to get into the top 5, maybe on the podium in the stock 600. That would be really good.
In the Asian Championship.
Yes, and the Asian Championship. Yeah, for sure. Asian Championships, I think there's a good shot to win because the bike is getting a lot better, a lot faster. Even Honda India is helping a lot. So should be possible soon.
Good. All the best for your future races, and I hope to see you riding on the MotoGP circuit one of these days. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Kavin Quintal for us. He's one of India's upcoming racers, and I do think that India has a bright future when youngsters like him go out there and race. It's the competitive spirit, it's the new India, and we will win. That is this thing. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you so much.
And we will be back soon with another podcast.